All right, I've seen Longlegs, and we have a lot to talk about. All right, on the long drive to see us some long-legged folks. And cousin Nick.
That's right.
In Longlegs, that's right.
I'm ready.
Anna's claim to fame, her cousin, Nicolas Cage, making another appearance for us in his 14th movie of this year with elongated legs. And I don't know shit about this movie.
That's right. I was about to ask you, do you have any idea what it's about? Because I really don't. I mean, it looks very mysterious and atmospheric, but it's like
it's supposed to be more of a thriller than an actual horror movie.
Cool. I'll take a thriller.
Yeah, so I didn't even watch a trailer for it until Jaron showed us one a couple days ago. That's finally broke the radio silence for me on this one.
Yeah.
And it just looks like this chick chasing what I presume to be a very lengthy-legged serial killer.
Okay.
A elongated-legged serial killer. So
a long-legged
yes,
serial
a long-legged serial.
I can't even say that quickly.
Serial murderer.
Perfect. I'm in for it.
Yeah, so that's all I know. I'm hoping, because there's a lot of hype for this movie right now. Okay. A lot of hype. And I'm hoping this isn't one of those, like, hype train movies, which I feel like we've been getting a lot of since we won't refer to it by its proper name, we'll just say since the 2020s.
Okay.
I feel like we've been getting a lot of hype trains that just come and fizzle out, quick.
Right. Everyone's really excited about it for like 2 weeks, and then no one ever talks about it again.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's not one of those, because in this one, doubly so, because number one, it has the viral marketing campaign they've done, which has been phenomenal. Like they have knocked their marketing out of the park on this. But number two, it's one of those limited theatrical releases, so not only do we have to battle early see-itis, which is those people who go see a movie early so they think they're part of some special club and hype the shit out of something that's very mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Or spoil it. But we also have to watch out for the fact that this is a limited release in general, so you have a lot of people feeling like they're the dude who shows up to a kegger and brings their own Heineken to the party. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to watch out for that. So, I'm a little reserved in my expectations here. But I'm really hoping it's good, man. We need something bad to the bone.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm not holding back. I'm going in full excited.
And Jared,
why not?
And Jared, what were you saying? Holy shit, look at this road. Oh my God, bump my ass. We're going off-roading.
Just for a minute.
Just for a minute here.
Want me to pause it?
I think we're going to have to pause it for a second. Sorry guys, the West Virginia Division of Highway had to interrupt us there really quick with their shitty work. So Jared, now you said that this movie is being compared to what?
Silence of the Lambs, I'm pretty sure.
Silence of the Lambs.
Those are some really big shoes to fill. Did it? Now, I know it was nominated for the Oscar. Did it win? Do you remember?
Silence of the Lambsies?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it took home some Best Picture awards.
Big shoes to fill.
Very big shoes, Don't quote me on that, but either way, whether it won anything or not, it won my forever respect as a great
Everybody's,
movie.
Right? Like, that's just...
Yeah.
Sometimes films are inarguable. I feel like that's one of them.
Yeah. So if people are comparing it to that, I expect exquisitely written, exquisite dialogue, exquisite cinematography, exquisite storytelling, pacing, and Anthony Hopkins. If I don't get all those things...
Well, you're not going to get Anthony Hopkins, but you are going to get Nick Cage.
So is Nick Cage like the... Mom, I want Anthony Hopkins, but we have Anthony Hopkins at home, and it's Nick Cage.
That's what an unfair thing to say about Cousin Nick.
I didn't mean...
I'm offended.
I did not mean... This is going to make for a very awkward Thanksgiving now, folks.
It's terrible.
I've done it.
Telling him you said that.
Oh, shit. But yes, we are on our way. We're going to watch this movie, and then you will get our review. I know you're waiting for it. I know you're angsty for it. It's coming soon.
I'm sure everybody out there has just been waiting.
They've just been waiting, you know, because I am, in case you didn't know, I am the authority here for horror.
And we have to respect your authority.
Board certified horrorologist right here, folks.
Cool.
So if this movie is worth your $15, I will let you know. All right, time for some skinny legs. Skinny legs, Jamie. All right, we're out of there, baby. Review coming soon. Get ready. It's going to be good. So we have seen Longlegs. I still don't know why it's called Longlegs.
That's what the guy called himself.
That's it. He's like Dennis Rader. He gave himself his own nickname.
Right.
Like, I'm BTK, guys.
There you go. That's who I was thinking of. Yes, I was like, I know somebody's nicknamed themselves.
No need to expend any thought on what to call me,
I got
Chris.
it. There you go.
If you need cool name suggestions,
I've got one. I will say though, that does bring up the point that the film doesn't go into much detail about backstory, motive in a very vague sense, but not a good.
No, you
don't get a strong backstory like at all.
No, like you don't know his motivation really.
Yeah.
Other than he's a bad guy.
Hail Satan.
Yeah, Hail Satan. Hail Satan. But let me ask you guys this, man. This movie, did it or did it not use every gimmick in the filmmaking book? It starts off in 4:3 aspect ratio.
It did. Yes.
You get the red intro card for the movie title, like the old school ketchup red Longlegs.
Yeah.
MCMXII. Like, and then you got the title cards, which were chapter markers as well.
Right.
What else did you get? You got the audio manipulation. You got some like CCTV/found footage type of gimmick going on there a good bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Loud ass jump scares that could have been left out and nothing would have changed.
Yeah. Flashbacks. You're right. Like there were jump scares that didn't go anywhere. You weren't seeing something scary. Like I feel like a great example is The Conjuring. Their jump scares are something. You know what I mean? It's the clap. It's like ghost fans clapping at you. Like
it is relevant to what you're seeing. Instead, this one was like, this one is even worse than the old slasher movies where they would just like throw a cat.
That's the one. Yeah.
This is even worse than that because it would be something that's not even scary, like a cat jumping out at you. It would just be like a loud noise that the audio makes.
Right.
And that's the jump scare.
Right.
It's like nothing on the screen happened, but they in post-production added loud noise, and that's what's supposed to scare you. So
but Jamie was absolutely right. Like they didn't add anything.
No, they did not move the movie forward.
Yeah. Especially like
or build tension.
There were certain ones with pictures.
Yeah.
And those ones were really unnecessary.
Which brings up an excellent point. So another one of the
gimmicks,
like filmmaking gimmicks they used were like flashbacks or image flashing, like both.
And like Polaroid pictures. And let me tell you something, folks. Anytime, I don't give a damn where it's at. Anytime you see a Polaroid picture get pulled out in a movie, it is never good. It is never for something good. There's going to be something on that Polaroid picture.
Always bad.
That is cursed.
That you don't want to see.
Yeah. This is about to leave some scars or dig some up.
I will say, I thought it was interesting that they placed the film within time. By the one thing they did was in her like head agent's office was a picture of Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
As the president of the United States. So it was like, okay, so that's we're in.
Yeah, so it is a period.
We're in
piece.
Clinton's
it's
era.
It's in the mid '90s.
But that's how you know when.
Well, like the main character not having
Lee, yeah.
not having a cell phone, like she has to make like calls.
Yeah.
Well, and now you know how that makes why it makes sense. Why she doesn't have a cell phone. Well, she's Clinton era FBI.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody drove a cigarette car.
Right.
Period, man. Yeah. But I don't want to totally crap on the movie. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to take a little crap. Maybe a big one, okay? I haven't decided yet. But I will say one good thing, man. That movie had me hooked when it first came on. And for like the first 45 minutes, but I feel like I could have turned on a Netflix crime series and had the same thing because it's a mystery and you're trying to figure out the mystery, but their pacing was so bad that I literally watched people around me start doing this. Like people started leaning their heads into each other.
Yeah, because I think you did. The suspense was pretty high at the beginning of the film, especially. Are we spoilering? Are we not spoilering?
I mean, you don't. I mean, come on, dude.
So no, it's brand new. No
it's
spoilers.
Brand new. We won't get into specifics.
There's a scene towards the beginning of the film that makes you feel like action is immediately ramping up. Like we're headed somewhere.
Yes.
And it's very suspenseful.
Yeah.
And then the film ratchets back down for a while.
A long time. And I'll tell you what didn't help it, guys, and I want to know if you all noticed this too. This is 100%, I know a lot of you are going to know exactly what I'm talking about as soon as I say it. This is one of those films where everybody whispers. Everybody whispers. There's no normal dialogue like this or inflection in their voice. Everybody whispers. Because the head FBI agent we get is very, what would you call that? Like solemn? Or what's the word for that? I don't want to say drab, boring.
No.
But she's very antisocial. I mean, very quiet.
She's a fucking
awkward.
weirdo, dude.
Yeah, she's a weirdo, dude. And let me tell you something, man. That's
so you're talking about the main character.
Yeah, I'm talking about the main character, Lee.
Very well portrayed by the actress there.
But at the same time, not accurate to an FBI. An FBI agent, man, you're like a salesman, dude. You're going door to door, digging information out of people. You have to talk to families and give them the worst news they're going to have on the worst day of their life. And this character walks around like this, and she's very awkward, and she's
kind
very
of afraid
shy.
of her own shadow a bit.
She's scared. She's not even sure why she does this.
She was very intelligent. Like
She's
that
very
is what her
intelligent,
character relied on, absolutely.
But she's almost like
you do wonder how she made it through the academy.
Anything that requires social interaction.
No. Very specifically the academy, because they force you to do things. I mean, that's one of the brilliant things. This movie's compared a lot to Silence of the Lambs so far, and so it's easy to make the comparison.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things they show about Agent Starling.
Yeah.
She's just finishing the academy.
Yeah.
But they show they show her have to like go through a door, through, and this is tough stuff. Like this is not for the meek and mild, and she
clearly is
until like the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, like, where is that?
Yeah.
She would have had to show that to get through.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
So I mean, but did you guys feel that way? It's one of those movies where everybody whispers.
Yeah.
Like nobody has an outlying personality.
Yeah,
They all just.
I feel like the sound level is definitely like very up and down.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because
it's either really loud or really quiet.
Well, because it's a thriller, so it's a character-driven movie, or a story-driven movie. They didn't have a lot of story. So what you got was when the characters would talk, they were very solid, just very quiet, reserved. And then
our conversation is very important.
but their conversation is very important. And then all of a sudden, like some kind of crazy ass sound effect that had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
But I was into it. I was getting heavily into the lore. I was getting heavily into the mystery of it all. I was trying to figure it out, and then it felt like one of those movies that would have been a better short film or a better concept, possibly a better book, because I don't think they knew where to take their story. I think they had a cool idea and didn't know how to execute it.
I would agree with that. I would say, particularly, like, the film takes a very interesting twist. It's,
the last 30 minutes...
They don't get you there in a way that feels, like, natural.
Yeah, so in typical writing, it's like, this happens, and because this happens, thus this happens. Thus, this happens, and you go along on this well-written journey together into Storyland.
Yeah.
This was like, this happens, end of story, but it's not, because this happens to happen too.
It's kind of, sorry, I just very randomly, it made me, the way you were explaining it, made me think of the end of Clue. The film Clue.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is how it could have happened.
Yeah.
This is how it could have. This is how it really happened. Like, it's kind of, the ending was tacked on in such a way that felt jarring, like that.
It felt like it was glued on in post-production because they were relying heavily on the imagery of Longlegs.
I was gonna say, there were a lot of, like, subtle hints that that's where the film was going, but not. But then it's almost told to you at the end of the movie like a story, as opposed to show don't tell. Right? That's the law of storytelling. Like especially in film, show don't tell. And we got, like, the plot told to us at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Literally,
it's spelled out.
It's told as a story.
Folks, like, there is a voiceover recap. For those of you who weren't paying attention, and no, seriously though, there is a voiceover recap, and it's not if you didn't pay attention. It's like, we didn't show you this.
So now we're telling you.
So we're going to wrap this up, and we're just going to tell you. They may as well handed you a damn pamphlet with your movie ticket and been like, well, here's the story, guys. Go watch the pictures.
You're just going to watch Act 2.
Yeah.
But Act 1 and Act 3 happen off screen.
But they were going somewhere that could have been great, like, because Nicolas Cage did well. I did like all of the gimmicks. They hooked me with the gimmicks. Thought it could have been cool. It's just the story fell flat for me.
Yeah. Well, and it's, my complaints about how Agent Harker's character was written, as everyone else said, like, the actress portrayed her wonderfully. Like, the acting was fantastic, I thought.
Well, let me ask you this too. Okay, so we'll go through it for this. How did you guys like the story? Good or bad? Or mediocre?
I'm gonna say, like, mid.
You?
Mid? I probably have to go mid too, just because I like the concept, like, a lot, but don't think the execution was good. So I have to meet somewhere in the middle, right?
Jared?
I thought it was kind of shitty, man. I went in for a thriller.
Yeah, I mean, a thriller is supposed to thrill you, and this movie had a lot, and I mean a lot, of the doldrums. There was no wind in those sails. The movie wasn't moving forward. It was just long, extended shots of almost like establishing shots.
Yeah. Well, in a good thriller, it's a good thriller is like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Lots of little scares, but we're all waiting for that big build up at the end. The build up.
You're not even sure where the roller coaster is going to end up.
Where it just goes to and then suddenly, like, you get the scariest scene. It's at the end, kind of. That's not. I would say the beginning of the film was scarier than the end of the film.
So yeah, absolutely. The first half is far better than the second half.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going mediocre to bad on the story just because they didn't have a complete story. They made us sit through a 100-minute film, and we got story in like the first 30 minutes and then pictures.
I thought it was shitty how, like, all through the trailers they hit Nicolas Cage's face and then showed it in the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like, especially with how, sorry if this was it, how silly they go with his look and his character.
Yeah.
Like, showing him fast almost kind of, it kind of ruins it a little bit.
And I think their shock value with Nicolas Cage was a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah.
With the look they went for.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil that, but we have seen that before.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say. But okay, so we all kind of agree at best the story is mid. Okay, what would you give characters?
Yeah, I liked the characters. Like I said, like, believability about whether or not this, young woman made it through, the FBI Academy. I mean, put it aside, and I liked her. Like, she was a likable character. She was an interesting character.
I'd say it's like half and half. Because, like, the main character, Lee, I liked her a lot. And, like, I just like detective stuff. So it was pretty, like, an interesting, like, grasp of attention at the start.
Yeah.
Her mom was a damn weirdo, though.
Yeah, her mom, dude.
Weirdly attractive for her.
I will say, man, this movie and the characters, really, we're talking about the mom and stuff, like, this is like, it's a period piece. It takes place in the 90s, and it almost felt like the characters were drug out of a 90s film.
Yeah.
Like, the characters themselves, like, I can't spoil it, but the mom felt very much like something from other horror movies I've seen, like Christina's House or something. Like,
yeah. And I think the other detectives were all good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things, though, where I feel like, except for Nicolas Cage playing Longlegs, like, I don't necessarily think any of the characters were, like, super memorable.
Yeah.
Whether or not I liked the actors did fine. They did great.
They did, yeah.
But, 10 years from now, will I, like, be talking about, that character, the movie was okay, but that character was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, okay, so characters also mid to good, we'll say. What about the cinematography?
I thought that was really good. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty movie.
The later part of the movie was definitely had the worst cinematography.
Yeah, because then they're sort of... They haven't paced it well enough for the story to where, I'm sorry, dude, but a 10-second shot of the entrance of this house doesn't feel good, 70 minutes in, when you haven't given us enough story. I mean, there has to be tension built in that shot for that to work.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Directing.
That is directing. It's like, oh my God, who lives in there? We're here. Oh my God, this is the house. It's like, no, it's just a house.
Yeah. I mean, and I said I was excited going in to see it. I think I maybe was overexcited. Yeah. When listening to the comparison with Silence of the Lambs, it's one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, it's not comparable. They're not comparable
whatsoever. But I will say, for the cinematography, I really liked the cinematography. I liked some of it a good bit, but I also like the color grading. Like, some of those scenes, man, they captured almost like an adolescent feeling to them, like those hot summer days or those cool winter mornings, or like, I feel like some of the color grading was done very well too.
It was a pretty movie.
It was very pretty.
Yeah, but I brought up Silence of the Lambs because you said, you move in, the shop moves in on the house, and you're like, oh my god, it's the house, and you get that when they show up at Bill's house at the end, right? Like, it's
absolutely,
and you're like, oh my god, it's the house.
Okay, well, all right, so we're all thumbs up pretty big on the cinematography, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we give the audio design? We talked about this a little bit earlier. Audio design, guys.
No, I have a major problem with it, and it happens, I think, a lot, maybe the last 5-10 years. I don't like movies where the sound effects are like massively loud and the speaking is very quiet. Like, it drives me nuts.
I don't like that either.
Yeah.
And I think they relied too heavily on the sound to jolt the audience instead of showing us anything or giving us a story to scare us.
Well, and there's very little music. There's a lot of scenes. Yeah, so there's a lot of scenes that are just totally silent. Yeah. And I feel like that's used well in films where now you're suddenly in a high intensity moment and the film goes silent.
Yeah.
And it was used so much in this film that it lost that impact. It just suddenly felt like the movie was too quiet. It was another thing that kind of dragged it down. Yeah. It's just like, I need music here because this is boring.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, because music, it can be used to shift tone.
Exactly.
Music can be, here's the problem, solution. And then you use different music for each and risers and, all kinds of stuff, man. Impacts. I mean, this one was too quiet except for when they wanted to use it as a weapon to scare you. And like Jamie said earlier, some of the stuff that they scared you with didn't progress the story or didn't have anything to do with the story. It's like, oh, it's a ringing phone.
Right, and it wasn't scary. It was just loud.
It was just loud. That was it. Yeah. What do you think, Jared?
Just a lot of moments where, like, there was nothing scary going on visually.
Yeah.
But, they just had to throw in a loud bang. Like, you can understand with a film like The Conjuring or something like that, like, the occasional, like, loud bang throughout the house. But this one, it was just kind of random.
Yeah. Well,
random shit.
Well, and that's a different type of movie too. It's very atmospheric. Yeah. They're in a haunted house. This is a woman trying to hunt down a serial killer. Nothing is going to happen. I mean, okay, so we have characters, we have sound, we have the visuals. What else, guys? I mean, what do you feel? Does anyone else feel a bit betrayed by the marketing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The marketing amped this up. This is the scariest damn movie you've ever seen, buddy. I mean, this is one where before we even came on this journey, we were like, we're going to leave a certain someone at home because this is probably too scary for them.
I know, now I feel so bad.
Yeah, for real.
I assure you, they're scarier than this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but yeah, where would you guys rank it, man? I mean, where are you guys at on it? Thumbs up or thumbs down, dude?
Just depends on what you're looking for, man. If you're looking for like an hour, 45-minute movie just to pass the time, like, it's not terrible. But if you're looking for a thriller, definitely a thumbs down.
I'd say like half and half.
What say you, little Miss Anna?
I think if you're okay with like a mild thriller, then it's okay. If you're looking for like a fully ramped up Silence of the Lambs thriller, you're not gonna get it, so thumbs down. Don't look for that.
I'm going thumbs down too, because I feel like this movie didn't have an identity, despite the fact that it leaned heavily on Longlegs. That's the title of the film. That's a serial killer's name. This person is supposed to know who they are, what they're doing. That's what you're supposed to get. And I feel like this movie did not deliver a complete story. So, thumbs down for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not a movie that I'm going to go home and be like, I regret that I sat through that for the entire duration. I don't. I'm glad I saw it. I may even rewatch it again in the future, just, in the comfort of our own home.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not live up to the hype, and it does not tell a cohesive or coherent story in certain areas. And by certain areas, I mean the whole damn thing. But, all right, man. Any final thoughts at all, guys?
Nope, I think that's good.
Don't think so.
All right, so that is our Fast Legs review. I hope you enjoyed it. Fast legs. Slow legs. Very, very long legs review. So, yeah. If you watched it and you agree with us or don't agree with us, man, let us know in the comments. Hey, come on. We still love you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.
Let us know. Hail Satan.